this also gives you certain examples. It is coming up. So it gives you query corporate databases and use the results to control job execution, providing you with real-time event-driven processing. So you can do a real-time job execution monitoring and you can control. So just like an example, you might have the first job running in your ERP application, the second job runs in your non-ERP application, and the third job again runs in some different ERP application. So these three jobs are dependent on each other. Now how do you control when you don't have a job platform application running? You have to first you have to run it in the ERP application, then you go to the non-ERP application, and then again you go to another ERP application and run it one by one. So this is a manual event-driven process. But when you actually use a job platform, what happens? You can schedule these three jobs in a single job plan and put a trigger on each job, that job A when finished, job B will run, and job B when finished, job C will run. Cross-platform, it can run anywhere if it is integrated. Secondly, apply extensive condition checks to job streams, giving you more sophisticated control over process execution. See, you can do a lot of flexibility. You have a lot of flexibility out here. How? You can actually apply extensive condition checks. So even you have 5 jobs running, one is dependent on the other, you can actually put in a lot of conditional checks, that and, or, this, that, this is dependent on that, probably it waits for a file to complete. So these are the jobs, these are the condition you can put in, and you have a good control over the execution of the job. Again, scan output files to check for data errors that might indicate problems and automatically take the necessary corrective actions. So probably when you are actually through a job platform you are running, probably the first job is creating a file in an ERP application, and the second job is picking up that file from some folder. Now you can put in another job which can run and scan the file and select that the records are correct and it is consistent, or the file is correct and consistent. Maybe that ERP application, whenever generates a file, it generates a file maybe size of 80 MB. Probably you have a limitation that you cannot send file more than 80 MB to a government authority through an interface. So probably you put a check with a job there that if the file which is created is more than 80 MB, please split up the file into 2 files and send it. So that you can also configure through another job. You can actually run scripts. You can attach scripts to a job and run it from the job application platform. So what happens, you can have a job which might be running every 15 minutes to check whether the file has come or not. And whenever the file has come, it triggers another job to pick up that file. Clear? Okay, there is one question which is coming up is, what are the T-code in SAP to check, maintain and manage the SAP application successfully? Okay, so if it is, I understand your question clearly. You are asking about the managing the SAP portfolio, SAP scenario. The transactions mainly used for managing jobs in SAP is SM36, SM37. These are the main 2 transactions. Okay, thank you. So now we, when we have seen what are the advantages we actually get from a job management platform, probably here what we'll see what are the results which we are getting. As a result, we can gain efficiencies and save staff time by fully automating the ERP processes, including those that interact with the non-ERP applications. At the same time, we can improve performance and increase accuracy, and we do it all from a single point of control. So this is a centralized job application platform which controls all your application in your organization. In addition to these general benefits, each job platform and ERP solution includes other benefits specific to that solution. So this is something specific, like if you give examples like SAP, if you, since I feel there are a lot of people who are asking me questions are from SAP area. So specifically in case of an, if it is SAP, then we have job application platforms like UC4 available, Redwood available, and there are Control M, BMC, there are lots others. So probably depends on the organization and organization benefit and strategy that to go for which software. Just for an example, like if you go for UC4 software, one single license actually will give you the benefit of integrating the ERP and the non-ERP solutions. When you buy Redwood, probably it gives you only integrating the ERP applications. And when you want to integrate with Redwood with non-ERP applications, non-SAP applications, you have to pay more. So it depends what is the organization budget, how we actually try to manage it, and depends on the architects who are actually managing it. Okay, so now what I will do is I will give you a small example here, and this is related to UC4 and SAP, that how we see what actually how it enhances, how UC4 job management platform enhances mass data processing. So the standard SAP method for mass data processing, such as reconciling accounts, balancing billing data, generating payments, and running runs or updating master data, requires extensive manual scheduling and monitoring. This approach not only takes time away from other work, but also creates numerous sources of possible failures. So when you are actually, in case, this is an example of like kind of a in case of a month end, you have a lot of reconciliation going around in the system, and maybe there is whatever during the normal month processes, whatever it happens, it is in the peak load, and there are a lot of manual activities needs to be done. You run job A, then you run job B, then you run job C, then probably to complete E and come back to D. So all this can be automated, and the mass data processing can be controlled through batch jobs from a single window. So what UC4 can do, this is an example, as I told you, in related to SAP and UC4. This is valid for any other ERP applications with any other job application tool you are using. So UC4 can reduce the time required for these jobs by splitting up large jobs and running the resulting smaller data units in parallel. This is very important in case of a SAP BW or a business warehouse scenario, where actually you are creating some reports for the management, or management likes to see some reports at which contains high level of financial data. And probably when you run the batch jobs from SAP internally, what it actually happens is probably at a certain point of time it goes and fails and gives you either timeout or probably high amount of data not able to calculate. So in this case, what UC4 intelligently can understand that this is large jobs, and they can split the jobs and run in parallel. This is a very, very important topic. UC4 also automate many steps that otherwise would take up staff time and takes existing dependencies between processes into account when scheduling job runs. So it automatically, suppose you have already have some job plan built into your job application platform, and probably you are now in the same time, probably in the same system, you are trying to run some other job. So what it will do, it will intelligently show that these are the jobs which are running in the same time, and these are the functions of this job. So probably if you have other alternatives, please schedule this job in a different time. Probably it is able to calculate the workload also in the system, and probably if you don't have any other alternative, they will tell, okay, fine, we'll split up these jobs into, let's say, 5 jobs and run it in parallel. So these are not that somebody will tell you, but specifically when you actually practically do it, you will get these options coming up. As a result, what actually happened by using UC4 to automate mass processing of SAP data, you can increase your return of investment by up to 80%. Why? Because data will be consistent, it will be done more faster, you have higher amount of control, you have less resources being used to manage this, so it effectively total up to 80%. This is again, you can argue with me on this. This 80% figure is just a kind of a survey which gives up. Probably if you go to another job application platform, they might tell you that they will give you 85% return on investment. You can increase your return on investment. So this is an estimated market figure. This is a survey figure which has come up.